Turning our attention now to some breaking news out of New York City. This is where a crane on a high-rise building caught fire and partially collapsed. Now, this happened just blocks away from Times Square. 2 firefighters among 6 people are injured. The crane was carrying a 16-ton load of concrete that crashed to the ground. It was all caught on camera, as you see here. The building is empty and currently under construction, but still 6 people in total were hurt. 3 were taken to local hospitals. Nearby buildings in the area have also been evacuated, and the streets are also closed now to keep drivers away. Happening now, a part of a major highway is still closed today for repairs after a crash that happened yesterday. Highway Patrol says that a tractor trailer carrying cabbage stopped for a crash that had already happened on Highway 52 in the southbound direction near Moore RJR Drive. But then the tractor trailer carrying cars failed to slow down just enough for that crash and hit the cabbage truck. The right lane of Highway 52 southbound is still currently closed at mile marker 122, and a nearby ramp will be closed for most of the day as well. We do know that 2 people are hospitalized as a result of this crash. This photo now from the scene was shared to us by the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, showing the charred car hauler and 18-wheeler that had been carrying all that cabbage, it now spilling out on the road. This incident did happen as heavy rain was passing through the area. In Greensboro, officers are now investigating a homicide. It happened on Shagbark Drive yesterday afternoon. This is where officers found 19-year-old Brianna Arrington suffering from a gunshot wound. She later died from her injuries. Police have not yet released any information about a suspect or what may have led up to that shooting. 2 people are now facing child abuse charges after Randolph County Sheriff's deputies found a child dead inside of their home. Police arrested the parents of 5-year-old Ella, Christina, and Billy Myers. Authorities were first called to Needham's Trail, Seagrove, for a welfare check there on Monday. The sheriff's office did not say at this time how that child died, but the uncle of the child says that he lives on the same property as his family. They are now mourning the loss of this child. Again, her name is Ella.
She's a loving little happy girl. Completely happy girl. And now it's gonna just have to try to get through what's gonna happen in the next couple days.
And the Randolph County Sheriff's Office says that investigation is still going on at this hour. Anyone with more information is asked to call them or Crime Stoppers. More than 50 family and friends of Alicia Watts are in Charlotte today looking for a missing Moore County woman. Today marks officially 10 days since her disappearance. She was last seen with her boyfriend traveling from Moore County to Charlotte, but her car was found in nearby Anson County. Her boyfriend was found unresponsive inside of her car on July 18th. The family has since held a news conference just about an hour ago where they demanded more information from police.
We need answers from the police department, and if we're not going to get no answers, then we're going to do it ourselves. Amen. Because we don't have no other choice right now. Our friend, our loved one is missing, and we're not getting no answers from the police, but we're here to start our own search. We're going to start our own organization. We're going to do what we got to do to find her.
And back in Moore County, the community is wearing green today. This is Alicia's favorite color. More court complications in the issue of voter IDs for North Carolina. The NAACP North Carolina is now filing a motion to lift the stay and schedule a status conference in its court challenge to the state's voter ID law. This morning, the plaintiffs were in court there in Greensboro. Their request came on the heels, though, of the historic decision from the U.S. Supreme Court, which found that Alabama discriminated against black voters when it drew its 7 congressional districts last year. Hunter Biden is set to plead guilty to 2 federal tax crimes today as well. Those misdemeanors are for not paying taxes on time in 2017 and 2018. The president's son is also set to enter a deal with prosecutors to resolve a felony gun charge. This is all part of a plea agreement. The Justice Department is expected to recommend a sentence of probation. Biden's attorneys say that this was unintentional. Attorneys for Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger are now suggesting that he was not at the scene of the crime when those murders happened. Kohberger is standing silent in the case, accusing him of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. At the same time, though, the school says it will wait to demolish the building where the quadruple killings happened.
I don't want somebody in the court case say, well, I really wish we could be in the house right now.
It is the families who asked for that building to be preserved at this time. Kohberger faces 4 counts of first-degree murder. His trial is now set for October. Former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed, who was released from Russia in a prisoner swap last year, is now injured while fighting in Ukraine. NBC's Ryan Nobles has much more.
You can say one thing about Trevor Reed: he is determined. The Marine veteran from Texas was arrested in Russia in 2019 while visiting a girlfriend. He was accused of getting into a drunken brawl with police. The U.S. ambassador to Moscow at the time called the charges, quote, theater of the absurd. After nearly 3 years, often in solitary confinement, Reed was released in 2022, swapped for a convicted Russian cocaine trafficker serving in the United States. The exchange filmed on a tarmac in Turkey. Back home, Reed expressed appreciation to the Biden administration, mixed with criticism for not doing enough to release other Americans held by Russia.
Yeah, that frustrates me that they're not doing more. The White House, has that position to go out and say, yeah, we're going to make this exchange. We're going to get these guys back for this guy. And, they have the ability to do that. So why they haven't already done that, is a little bit beyond me.
After that, Reed signed up to be a volunteer for Ukraine to fight against Russia. A Pentagon official confirms he's being treated at a U.S. military hospital in Germany.
I want to be explicitly clear about something. Mr. Reed was not engaged in any activities on behalf of the U.S. government.
Off camera, the White House is less diplomatic. An official telling NBC News of extreme concern that Reed's actions could hamper the government's ability to bring other Americans home. Russia is holding journalist Evan Gershkovich and Marine veteran Paul Whelan, also on trumped-up charges, according to U.S. officials.
And back here at home, the historic Greensboro sit-in marked its 63rd anniversary this year. That movement started back on February 1st, 1960, when 4 North Carolina A&T State University students started sit-ins at a whites-only counter. The movement, though, came to an end on July 25th of that same year. The efforts of the Greensboro Four were honored last night at an annual fundraiser gala there at the Corey Convention Center in Greensboro. The gala also honored other local trailblazers as well. Guilford County Commissioner Skip Alston says that the gala raises funds for the museum and new projects.
We're trying to get the World Heritage designation, where we'll be able to be one of 144 sites in the entire world that would be historic and designated as a historic site. So more exhibits, more action items that we'll be doing for the Civil Rights Museums, and bring more people who have come there before. They have to have a reason to come back.
This year also marks the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. This, of course, where Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Due to that, the gala's theme this year was "The March to Washington Continues."